extremely well, and he just increases the confidence of everybody around him. So you can understand why this organization would want to keep him so badly. And of course, for the first time ever, the Raptors win an NBA championship. So yeah, there's speculation. The Lakers, they made a pitch, we understand, and LeBron James apparently was a part of this. The LA Clippers have been talking about trying to get Kawhi. In fact, Doc Rivers was even fined for tampering when he talked about Kawhi Leonard. And now, of course, the Raptors with their pitch. So you can see why and understand why any team would want to get a guy like Kawhi Leonard. But the teams that are the front runners, LA teams, because that's where he's from. And of course, the Raptors, that's where he's won. So we're going to find out at some point, officially July 6th, but perhaps we might hear something sooner as we watch again and try to recognize who is getting off this plane, who's disembarking. Usually it would be part of the management team, some of the players perhaps, some of the upper brass. I would guess that would be who it would be coming off the plane, but from this distance, from this shot, we just cannot tell, Stephanie.
Right. Now, as this is happening, people are starting to congregate in Yorkville near a hotel there amid tweets and discussion that there's a meeting of some kind going on at a Yorkville hotel. This is where we find our Christina Tenalia with a lot of Raptors fans. Let's not forget, this is a city where over 1 million people showed up for the Raptors parade post-championship. So is there any surprise that we're seeing this kind of a turnout in a location where they expect there could be any discussions surrounding Kawhi Leonard? Let's go to Christina Tenalia now.
So probably no surprise, Steph. There's a slew of spectators here. Some saw this online. Some happened to be passing by and recognized that something was going on here. This started on social media with word that Masai Ujiri, the Raptors president, and general manager Bobby Webster were meeting for lunch here at the Hazelton Hotel. And then, of course, there's that vehicle that was exiting the area at Toronto Pearson that we have been following. And the suggestion, the speculation is that Kawhi Leonard could be meeting the two here to talk, or the Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster could just be hanging out for lunch. Let's get some fan reaction from fans who've gathered here. Marcos?
Yes.
Where'd you find out about all this here?
I found out through a friend on social media, and I immediately subway down here from Dundas Square from my office.
Why?
Because I believe Kawhi is the future of the Raptors, and if he stays, then we have a chance of winning again next year.
Okay, do you think he will stay?
For $190 million, I think that's enough money to convince anyone, but I'm not sure. He may want to go team to team and become an MVP at different leagues, but if for the city of Toronto, it would be an impact that would last years and years and years to have a star, an icon such as Kawhi Leonard in our vicinity and working with our other team players to become champions year in, year out.
Are you surprised by this gathering here? I mean, people stopping, not even knowing if he's going to come by or not. Perhaps stepped out from work, stepped out on lunch, just waiting with their phones. Some people didn't even know initially who it was that everyone here was waiting for.
But that's the magic of Kawhi. Kawhi is humble. Kawhi keeps his head down and does the work, and we respect him, and we want him in our city. And that's why we're seeing the reaction here today.
Okay, thanks so much, Marcos. So this crowd has grown and then even dissipated at times. We've been waiting here for some time. Again, no word on if there is actually a meeting that will take place here today. But as I've said earlier, last week I was at the year-end news conference with Masai Ujiri, the season-end news conference. He said he is staying. As for Kawhi, he had said, and that was last week, that he had a productive meeting with him. There's been text message exchanges with Kawhi, his team. He's chatted with his uncle Dennis, and he acknowledged that he will respect whatever decision Kawhi makes, because as Ujiri pointed out, that free agency and trades are the most difficult thing to go through. He has to go through as an executive, so he understands anyone's decision. Back to you.
Okay, Christina Tenalia in Yorkville, thanks so much. So Nathan Downer, you've been talking with all kinds of experts and people in the industry speculating about what might happen. So let's just talk about any kind of timeline that we could look at from today to 3 months from now.
Well, we know that they can't officially make any announcement till July the 6th. So I would think that will be the date. But with Kawhi, you never know. I mean, he has said that he's going to consider these offers and then make a decision, and he's going to go on Kawhi time. So he's maybe one of the most unpredictable athletes. It's hard to say, but we do know that he's going to seriously think about what's been offered and make a decision based on that. So I don't think he's going to rush it. and there is no rush. But I would have to think that he'd want to make this announcement sooner rather than later, at least from the Raptors' perspective, because they want to make other moves based on what Kawhi does. If Kawhi stays with this team, then the next order of business would be to re-sign Danny Green. And then after that, they might try to get another player or two. So there's other chips that would fall after Kawhi makes his decision. So we could find out where he's leaning, and maybe even if they've got an agreement in principle, that would be nice. But nothing official until the next few days. But we know that when he came to this team, it was not as if he chose to come to Toronto. He was traded here from San Antonio. So when he was traded here, a lot of people thought, well, he didn't come here on his own volition. When the season ends, he'll be a free agent. Players wait a lot of years to be in this position, and then he'll decide where he wants to go. He's got that right. He's from LA, and he might choose to play in LA to be closer to family, friends, etc. But having played here for a season, having had the success that he's had, having won a championship, having worked with our medical team, there are a lot of reasons why he might consider staying, and hence we've got what's happening today, this meeting, this proposal, and of course the speculation that he might in fact choose Toronto. You never know, Stephanie.
Okay, and we will be waiting and watching for word from MLSE of any development. So thanks so much, Nathan Downer. And keep it here on CB24. We will continue our coverage of possible developments in any deal signing for Kawhi Leonard. We have no official word on anything, just that there's a lot of interest being sparked in the city today. And we are there following it as it happens. Back to you, Chanel.
Okay, thanks so much, Steph. It's 2:39 right now and 28 degrees outside. Let's get a check on weather and traffic. We'll head out.